understood anything yet? Do you realise these kids didn't buy the records for the music? If that was the case, this scene would have died a death years ago. Well, to establish the name Sex Pistols, I avoided competition at all costs. I prevented the band from ever playing in any of those rock and roll houses. Instead, we played striptease clubs, prisons, fashionable parties. It didn't really matter, just any shithole that didn't reek of rock and roll. I used to plant people in the audience, get them to swear and spit, even throw a few hard bottles at the bastards. But I made doubly sure that it was always the Sex Pistols that got thrown out for causing all the trouble. I felt the time was right to find a real good solid bass smack in the heart of the record industry, remembering all the time never to compete with that necrophiliac rock and roll. Not yet, anyway. I walked around down into Soho, looked in the arcades and discos, soliciting young kids. Didn't want fans who liked music, just wanted kids who loved to dress up and mess up. Cultivate the curiosity of the press and other media, but minimalize the possibility of them ever seeing the group. Antichrist! I am an anarchist! Don't know what I want, but I know what I get. I want to destroy by the night. I want to be forget about music and concentrate on creating generation gaps. Call all hippies boring old farts and set light to them. How many ways to get what you want? I use the best, I use the rest, I use the enemy, I use anarchy to fight. I wanna be anarchist, get down. Terrorize, threaten, and insult your own useless generation. Suddenly, you've become a novel idea, and you've got people wanting to join in. You've gained credibility from nothing. You're the talk of the town. Develop this as a story you can sell.
The first time I laid eyes on McLaren, he was chasing me down a King's Road. on account of the clothes I just nicked from his shop. 3 years later, I stepped off the Concorde from Rio with a foul taste in my mouth. It was me looking for him. The trail had led from the plush apartment of Ronnie Biggs back to the rat-ridden streets of Soho. I thought we was in it together, but the swindle had become a vicious circle, and now it was reaching me. He ran his empire from a sleazy back room above a strip club in Greek Street. Malcolm always had good taste, but if he rips me off, I'll break his fucking legs. I tried the safe where he always stashed his dough. He didn't trust anyone, let alone a bank. The clues were in front of me in black and white. Bollocks. But I'd never learned to read all right. People often ask me the difference between the Sex Pistols and the Beatles. Soap and water. I was only a nipper when they was going, but I was fucking glad when they broke up.
Hello, I've got a lesson 3 on the line. How to sell the swindle. Reverse charges. Will you accept the call?
Helen, find yourself a lawyer who has no interest in music, but is purely interested in making money. He's your main asset in developing the highest price and in illustrating to record companies the enormous potential of a band that can't play. Now begins the task of interesting the record companies on your own terms and get them to start battling against each other for the group. Dave D, please, A&R.
A&R, Dave D speaking.
This is Chris Perry.
Hello, Doug Darcy, Christmas Records.
What about the Sex Pistols?
They were a particularly ugly band.
No, it's dreadful.
The group were doing a very private, I think secret show at the Screen on the Green in Islington. Well, I went along with a couple of our A&R people and Chris Wright, the chairman, and we got to the door, knocked on the door, and somebody opened the door and said, "Fuck off."
My initial reaction when I walked into the club, you know, was to make for the bar, which is always quite, you know, the best thing to do.
So, well, we weren't going to be dissuaded, so we tapped on the door again and said, "We're invited." And the head popped round again and said, "Fuck off."
It was full of these, you know, young kids that were obviously very much into the band.
So we tried a third time, and eventually another head came round the door, and we said, "Look, we really are invited along." So they said, "OK, you can come in, but stand at the back."
And there was a little bit of a scuffle, nothing much.
Generally, there was an atmosphere of antagonism, of, you know, of suppressed violence.
I've known musicians to defend themselves if the thing goes on to stage. I've never seen musicians drop their instruments and sort of dive in a small scrap and, like, extend it and forget about the music, you know, and I found that a bit much.
So I went back 2 or 3 times after that just to make sure that, you know, they were as bad as I thought they were the first time.
In fact, a group that can't play is better than a group that can.
Oh, fuck, it's awful. I hate songs like that.
Now, you're in the most important position of all. One in which you are able to sign with the most prestigious company in the world.
Don't commit until the last minute. When you finally come to sign, forget about the future, get as much money as possible on the dotted line. Then demand a big party, get all the photographers there. Make sure it's an important event for them. Be as obstructive as possible, Helen, in order to fulfill the record company's wildest dreams, that they are obtaining the bargain of the century.
The English autumn was closing in, and so was I. I was calling on the cunt. His rambling Gothic hideaway on the slopes of Highgate Cemetery overlooked the tomb of Karl Marx and the bedroom of Lindsay DePaul. I had to give it to him. His taste was improving. There was some old tart at the Joanna.
This all depends upon the climate, and it seems pretty clear that it's played over here in a climate far too slow. Tilly-on-pop, 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 with the Spaniard, when he's spoony, he goes absolutely loony. Oh, it's frightful, but delightful. And the Spanish ladies say it's pop, tilly-on-pop, pop, 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 tilly-on-pop, pop, pop, play. Oh, nice.
Nice, very nice.
Who the fuck are you?
My name is Tona Debrett, and I gave a few lessons to Johnny Rotten years ago, before the group, in fact, began. Malcolm McLaren sent him up to me, and with the very worthy idea of teaching him a little about voice production. I'd say to him, you start one of your songs. I don't recognize any of these. They're all since my day. But just supposing that he took submission, and he decided that he would sing, I'm on a submarine mission, I'm on a submarine mission. Okay, so he might sing that, and I'd say, right, now I know where we are. And by the time I was ready, he would have changed key. No way, absolutely no way could we pick up a note. Whereas their erstwhile manager, Malcolm McLaren, came up here, beautiful ear. He should have been a singer.
It was time to find someone who could read more than music. I was sure those letters from the safe held the key to the swindle.